got into Jalen Brunson, what Philly was doing against him early in the series. We know first 2 games he struggled, and then his numbers were phenomenal. What did you see was the difference there for Jalen or for the Sixers in that matchup?
Well, number one, to add to Jared's point about Tibbs, we brought this up before. In the last 20 games of the regular season, his 4 years as the Knicks coach, that started off with 16-4 in the very first year, 12-8 when they didn't even make the playoffs. The Knicks are 54-26 under Tom Thibodeau the last 20 games of the regular season. So to Jared's point that they're gearing together and they're ready to go and they're like ready to go to battle. Well, yeah, they played a 55-win pace at the end of the season since Tibbs has been the coach. So that's something really major. And you think about all the one-handed Sixer rebounds and the Knicks come up with another offensive rebound. That all counts because you're conditioned to play late in the fourth quarter. You're conditioned to execute, and that's why they won the series. Where Brunson turns it on is in Game 3, and the change was I have Oubre Jr. on me. I have Batum on me. They're both very long. And in the first 2 games, he was just trying to get away from them and then try to get an open shot, maybe going laterally or even going backwards. In Game 3, he changed his mind. He said, you know what? I'm going 1-2 dribbles anywhere, and I'm shooting the basketball. And then that was more effective to get better shots, to get more open shots. I thought Oubre Jr. just ran out of gas, chasing him around like game by game. His body language wasn't very good. I thought that Batum did a good job on him, even all the way through the series. But, you know, whenever I don't know, Nick Nurse, he's a friend, okay? I have a lot of questions about a lot of different things, but every side 14 that the Knicks ran, they put Harris on Brunson, and he scored like 80% of the time, and the Sixers never adjusted to that. And that was a big deal in Game 4 and in a couple other spots. So give Jalen credit. He looked at it. First 2 games, I'm not shooting well. How can I get some better shots?
Side 14 is a 1-4 pick and roll in regular parlance. But Brendan, I think what you wrote and what you're talking about here over the course of this series, I think you were spot on with Brunson's adjustments. And Jared, you saw him night in, night out, New York, Philly, bad games, good games, a lot of big shots. When you talked to him and when you were around him, did anything stand out to you when you saw what he did on the court and how he carried himself off the court?
There is this, I think we have a lot of guys in the league that play with a chip on their shoulder. I think we have a lot of guys in the league that have immense amount of talent. I don't know that we have as many guys that put it all together and are willing to do it with a team-first attitude and be the leader that Jalen Brunson has become. He simply, and again, I think we've got to point out here that Julius Randle was having a remarkable season, and the fact that Randle's not there and Brunson's being able to carry this load. Now, listen, I think there are some shortcomings to this team, and there are some shortcomings to the way Brunson has to play because of the lack of consistent offensive options around him. But the bottom line is, in this series, they needed him to do this over those 4 games. The fact that Ian Eagle said it on the broadcast last night on TNT, and it almost like shocked me, even though I knew it, that Jalen Brunson in the 2024 NBA playoffs is leading all players in points per game. That's a remarkable statement when you think about the guys who started in the playoffs have gotten eliminated, and the guys who are still involved in the NBA playoffs, the Tatums, the Doncic, the Jokic, the Murrays, guys who have, deep playoff runs in their history. I just think the way he is bound and determined, and this guy, you saw the look, Ian, you were there at shoot around yesterday morning. The look in his eye that he had for how he felt he personally let the game slip away in game 5. You knew you were going to get a different approach and an even more locked in approach. And this he's able to deliver on that. A lot of guys talk the talk. He walks the walk.